Hi Pisces, this is your reading for the time period of November 1st to December 31st, 2021. For those of you who are new to my channel or you're visiting, welcome to Amani's Lightwork. Okay, so before I begin with your reading, I just want to let you guys know that I am doing my tarot series on my Instagram page at AmaniEFA777. Feel free to go over there, follow, and partake in the series if you feel inclined to. I will also post the same content to my YouTube community panel as well if you do not have an Instagram. Okay, in terms of the reading, this is bi-monthly, and I will try to touch base with your energy maybe towards the middle of November and December, and I'll touch base with it again to give you a New Year's reading as well. Okay, all right, so let's see. Okay. Alright, Pisces, so the card you have underneath is the Nine of Pentacles, or the Nine of Gain, I should say. Okay, Nine of Pentacles would be waiting on a paycheck, possibly, or a payout that you may have been owed. You could be giving that to someone as well. This just depends on what's going on. The spirit is giving me the idea of insurance. So insurance could be car insurance. Insurance can also be like federal aid, like something that you do, what do you call that, like benefits, like state federal benefits that you may receive bi-weekly or weekly. I also get funding. It also has something to do with some type of funding that you may be waiting on or you're trying to apply for, like grant funding. It could be GoFundMe, those kind of things like that. Okay, I mean, there's various outlets that you may inquire about getting some type of funding for, like a non-profit or a not-for-profit organization that you're a part of. And that organization may need money, or like if it's not a not-for-profit or a non-profit, then it's just your regular job that you're in that may need funding, like from like an external source or money that you make on your own, donations. It just depends on the element that is coming through with the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, but it's a 9, so that means that you're going to receive the funding that you need. Okay. The starting point has the sign of Sag. Temperance is also art as well. So something that you're doing work-wise or funding-wise, some type of payout, some type of grant, it may have to do with art. It may have to do with art in the community. It could have, like, there's street art here. If you look at the card, there's some street art. There's an artist here, and there's like painting on the ground, like murals, mosaics and things of that nature. Does not have to be art oriented. Just something about the work that you're doing does require you to either like work with an artist, like a visual artist. Could also be a musician. It doesn't only have to be visual art. It could be a musician that you need for something. I also like the idea of a venue. Like, there's this idea of a venue that you may want to. You could be a performer, or you're just looking for a venue. Like, you could be an artist of whatever kind, whether that's a musician or it's visual art. You're like a painter, writing. You have some type of special skill that you want funding for. Or you're looking for an external artist, or like a musician or another visual artist. Something that you are doing is art related. If it's like music, or if it's like drawing, it's music, performances, looking for venues to hold these things. The spirit is giving the idea that something is probable. Okay, something is probable, which means that there's the potentiality that you may experience this if you get the proper funding or if you get whatever money that you're waiting on. Okay, so there's different things that are coming through with the temperance. You're literally doing something that's art or music related that you do want funding for. That's one element about it. Or you're just looking for some state benefits, like you're waiting. 9 of Pentacles, you're just waiting, the temperance energy, waiting on some type of state benefit, or just waiting for money to come in, period. All right, if it's not only that, then this is a sign of Sag as well. So Sagittarian energy may be stepping through to help you with something. You may be communicating with the Sag. You may need the Sag may have insurance, or the Sag may be donating. The Sag may want to help you out with something specific. Okay, what you're waiting on is the sign of Libra. You have the Justice energy here. So Libra, if it's justice, whatever you're trying to do business wise, it may involve appearing in court, if that makes any sense. Like you may need to appear in court. It could be child support related funding or money that you need, and then you're trying to look for other opportunities as to how you can help someone child support wise, or someone external is trying to figure out how to do that, if that makes any sense. But it's also the sign of Libra that you could be dealing with. All right, so you have a Libra here, and then you have a Sagittarian energy as well. Okay, the spirit is giving me an idea that it's either one of these two elements. They take too long to do something, whatever that means. So I don't know if that's related to funding, they take too long, or I also get opportunities either related to funding, and then it's also related to an opportunity that you're waiting on with the Sag, or opportunity that you're waiting on with the Libra. Like love could be involved in this as well too. Business is involved in this. Nonprofit is involved in this. Funding is involved in this. Donations of some kind is why you need a Libra, is why you need a Sag. It just depends on energy that is coming through. They do have insurance. Like if you're dealing with these two elements, one of them or both of them has insurance. Like you could possibly, okay, I understand why insurance is so important. It's something may be going on with your insurance separately from these two elements. If these two elements are shown to appear like people, like something to be going on with their insurance or benefits that I get they can receive. There's benefits that these two elements can receive. Like a Libra can receive some type of state benefit, or the Libra can receive some type of benefit from their job. Somebody may not be working. This energy may not be working. And then you have a Sag who uses other people's information to get by. That's what the Sagittarian energy does. They use other people's information to get by. If these are energies that you're embodying, you may be using somebody's information or identification or something, login information to use for your own benefit. If that's how you get by, or that's how a Libra gets by. Libra could be using yours, Sag could be using yours, or you're using theirs. Or one of them needs to work, or one of them isn't working. So you may be helping one of them, or you're helping both of them, or you're using one of their information or both of their information so that you can get grant funding. It has something to do with grant funding. It has something to do with like non-for-profit or for-profit funding that you're trying to get in, or it has something to do with donations that you're expecting from one of these elements. Okay. The present has the 5 of Swords energy. So the 5 of Swords resides with a Libra or some type of if the Justice energy isn't only a court appearance and a person, the Justice energy could also be justice to something. What was I gonna say? It could also be if it's not only court, then it's something legal that is going on with. It's something could be legal that is going on with a Libra. Or it's something legal that I get a rabbit hole. It's something that's legal in regards to something that you're doing that the spirit is implying that there's a rabbit hole of conspiracy surrounding something that Libra has going on, or there's a rabbit hole of conspiracy surrounding something that you're doing. That's why the Justice and the Temperance energy is there. It could be how you get some type of funding for a job. It could be it's either how or where you get some type of funding. It's how or where or who you get some type of funding from. You see what I mean? Like if you're using somebody else's, for example, if you're using somebody else's information, I also get tax. It has something to do with taxes. If you're using somebody's information to get some type of tax, some type of tax benefit, right? But somebody could have given you, somebody could have given you the leeway to receive some type of tax benefit with their information. So that's either the Libra or that's the Sag that's there. The Five of Swords is in the present because either you're embodying this energy where you could have been using somebody's information without their permission, or somebody's using your information without your permission. If that makes any sense. All right. So before I move any further, you've got a situation here where there's a couple of different things happening here. You've got something going on that is something that's community based about the work that you're doing, right? Something's community based about it, but you need some type of funding as a means to keep that community-based job, or to keep that community-based, whatever it is you're doing that's community-based. Children are involved, art and music are involved in it, something that you're doing that's work-wise. You could just be attending something, or you just know someone that needs your helping hand to get some type of funding, give them an opportunity, financial opportunity to fund some type of job, to fund some type of not-for-profit or organization. That's one element about this. The Justice energy is like you may need to go to court. The Justice energy is like kind of giving me that idea of federal aid or something going on like federal government wise with you getting some type of funding to do something like that. It could be school related or related to a school, something with kids, something with art with kids. It doesn't have to be, or it's just like a music. You want to look for a venue. You want to do these things, but you may not want to look into government for these things. So you may be looking for Five of Swords. You may be looking for a non-conventional way to benefit, or a non-conventional way to get funding for some type of program or a job that you're in. Because there may be some type of really strict requirement that you can't fulfill on your own. So you need a Libra's information. You may need a Sag information. Five of Swords is that you're not asking a Sag. Five of Swords, you're not asking a Libra for some type of a documentation or information to get this done. So either you are asking them or you're not asking them. You are or you are not. So if it's not you that's giving out this energy, one of these two elements could be doing the same thing to you. A Libra could be doing this to you. Where they need something, I get a store. They may need their store funded. If a Libra runs a business, they need some type of business some type of off the books business that a Libra has going on. They need it funded, like a store, like an online store, like a store that you can go or drive to, walk to. They need the funding for that if it's not you only. So you're trying to figure out how to apply. You're trying to figure out a way to apply for them using their information or something you have separately going on from them. You using their information to apply separately from them, but it's their information that you're using, or they're using your information to do something. It could be promotionary things, like a Libra, if a Libra's running like an online store or they run some type of program, they do something work-wise separately from you, like they may want something promoted, Five of Swords, and you may be looking to a Sag, like you could be asking the Sag. If it's not the Sag element money, then it's the Sag. I also get attention. If it's not only the Sag element money, it's the Sag element attention that you're seeking for a Libra. Right? This could be a family. Sag, Libra, you. Right? Mom, dad, could be business partners. You could be business partners with your family, or there's other people. The Sag may not be helpful. This Five of Swords may reside with the Sag. Sag could have air in their chart. They may not be helpful with you or something need that you have, or they're not helpful with the need that a Libra has, or they may not support a Libra. Five of Swords, they don't support a Libra financially. They don't give the Libra any attention. Justice, they may not give you any attention, but you need their documentation, you need their birth certificate, you need this, that, and the third for yourself or a Libra. for yourself or a Libra. Okay? There's a lot going on there. So you want to go to court. You're like, should I take this person to court? You know, should I take that? The Libra could be having a conversation with you. Should I take the Sag to court for child support? If this is like a, you know, that type of situation, you're dealing with child support, they're dealing with child support. They can't take care of the Libra. They can't give the Libra anything. They can or they cannot. Five of Swords with the Justice and the Sag and the Temperance. Five of Swords energy. The Five of Swords is here because all of these elements are embodying, including yourself, all you and these elements are embodying Five of Swords, because I feel like each of you is crossing a boundary in terms of obtaining some type of information, whether it's verbal or it's document. Or someone isn't giving somebody attention. Like Libra may not be paying attention to you, but they need financial assistance. They need financial assistance, but they're not paying attention to you. Or you need financial assistance from the Sag. They're paying attention to you or they're not paying attention to you. And if they're not, you may have access to their information or you have copies of their documentation that you can still go ahead and use. So you can be giving that to a Libra, Five of Swords. You can be giving it to a Libra to do for you, apply for you. Right? If that makes any sense. Because you don't feel comfortable asking the Sag for anything directly. Or they're not trying to be seen by you. Or they don't want to be found by you. Defeat. See the defeat? Five of Swords. Okay? You may feel defeated by that person. The future has the Lover, sign of Gemini. And then you have your instincts, Eight of Swords. Right? The Spirit is giving an idea that they're not doing something. Libra isn't doing something, to be specific. Like they're not doing something. Could be whatever air sign that you're dealing with, but Libra's here. You could have Gemini, maybe tied to Aquarian. They're not doing something communication wise. It's swords. It's the Eight of Swords. This is online communication. This is online communication, phone communication. They're not calling. They may not be calling you. You're not calling them. It just depends on what's going on. Listen, your instincts, so you're thinking that they don't want to call. They don't want to call. Someone may not want to call you to tell you that they're not working anymore. They don't want to tell you, if it's a Libra, they don't want to tell you they're not working anymore. It could be Geminis and Aquarians. They're not telling you that either the air sign isn't telling you that either they left the job, or they don't want to be somewhere anymore. They may not want to be somewhere with you anymore, but you still want them around. You do or you do not. They may want to live somewhere else. Or one element about this is that they took time off. A Libra could have taken time off. Aquarian, Gemini could have taken time off. And they didn't tell you that. They didn't tell you anything. They could have told you. And you, Eight of Swords, you may have been, Eight of Swords is kind of like, it's like communication that you don't want to hear. So either you don't want to hear that someone isn't working anymore, you don't want to hear that someone got fired. Something like that happened to the air sign. You don't want to hear that information. They may not want to hear that information about you. You could be telling them something similar. Hence the reason for why Temperance, you could be trying to apply for some type of aid of some kind. Eight of Swords. You could be applying for aid and you're asking them for help. Asking the air sign element for help. Financial help. Stay here. Help me. Live here as long as you need to. Just help me out. Work here as long as you need to. Help me out here. So that's their voice to you or vice versa. Okay? Or something like that is going on with the Sag. I feel like the Sag is in the picture because their information is needed. Sag is in the picture because their information is needed. It's needed by a Libra. It's needed by an Aquarian. It's needed by a Gemini. It's needed by you. But they're not complying, or they don't want to comply. They don't want to give, they don't want to cut into their pay. Five of Swords with the Sag. They don't want to cut into their pay for you. They don't want to cut into their pay for the air sign. They don't want to cut into their pay for whatever reason. So that's what's happening here. There's a couple of different situations. I feel like you're dealing with air signs that they took off from work, they got fired, they left the job intentionally, and they need financial assistance. or they could have left their job that was paying them consistently, periodically, to run something on their own. That's the air sign. Aquarians, Libra, Gemini. They could have left their job to do something with a Sag, if that makes any sense as well too. Or the Sag may provide them with financial aid. Or you're looking to the Sag to help you provide the air sign with financial aid of some kind. 5 of Swords. Right? The accomplishment has the Queen of Disc. Queen of Disc is right next to the Sag. Queen of Disc, you could be embodying Queen of Disc. You may be financially, financially stable. You may be more financially stable than the Sag if you're embodying Queen of Disc. Alright? Or it's an external Queen of Disc that you may need to have a conversation with. Right? Something could be going on with their information. They could be tied to a Sag, or a Sag could have communicated to you about. A Sag communicated to you about a Queen of Disc external if you're not embodying this. So a Sag came to you and communicated something about a Capricorn, Taurus, or a Virgo that's a female. Alright? Or it's the Temperance energy if it's not only Sag. Temperance energy next to this person, you may want to, there's something going on with their information. Something could be going on with their documentation or their information. Right? If it's not documented information and things of that nature, then it's how they can help you. Temperance next to them is how they can help you. It could be art related that they can help you. Work related, something is work related about them being attached to something that you have going on separately from them, and you may want them involved. The spirit is also giving me an idea of a Leo. A Leo may want them involved. Sag may or may not want them involved in a situation. Definitely business. Love may be intertwined with this, right? A Leo may have a crush on this person, or a Sag does, or a Sag still likes a Queen of Disc. So a Leo has a crush on them. You may like them to that, you may like them like that to that level if it's not family. And it's a Sag. I get that still has their documents. A Sag still has a Queen of Disc energy documents. You still have Queen of Disc energy documents. Or that's how you're trying to get some type of funding, is by communicating with the Sag for Queen of Disc energy documents. Or the Sag still has the Queen of Disc energy documents. The Sag could have communicated, or the Leo, whatever fire sign, could have communicated with you for copies of their documentation. I also get whereabouts. The fire sign energies are communicating with you to find out where the Queen of Disc energy is, where they live, where they reside, where they move to, where they work. Because you need some type of documentation, or the fire sign energies need some type of documentation that is theirs, or they need yours. Sag may need if you're embodying Queen of Disc, Sag need your documentation. Aries, Leo need your documentation to get something done. So whether that's business, or they want to fund something that's specific, that may, accrue interest, that may bring in some dough for you, for them, for Sag, for this person, right? So before I move any further, there's a lot of different situations going on here. One element as to why certain things are happening the way they are here is because, like, an air sign, whatever air sign, Libra, Gemini, I get something that's financially detrimental that is surrounding in the air sign, right? They may work with you. They may be family. Whatever it is, they're coming to you. I get desperate. They're coming to you and they're desperate. 8 of Swords. The air sign is desperately in need of money or attention. Swords. Psychological. Something is going on. Something may be happening psychologically with someone with attention. Psychologically with attention. So the air sign may need attention, or they need financial attention. Because something is intentional that they did do in regards to their own job. Something may be intentional that you did with your own job. So you could have left your job on your own, or you took leave from your job on your own. You may have gotten fired. You did or you did not get fired from your job. These elements are here. All these elements are here because someone may be desperate with what you need. Someone may be desperate, these are unbiased readings. Someone may be desperate about what you need. Money-wise. Desperate doesn't have to be like desperate for a man, desperate for a woman. Desperate as in like desperate for creative boosts. Desperate for financial aid. Desperate. Money desperate. Okay? Money desperate. Money desperate. Air sign may be money desperate. Air sign may be attention desperate. This depends on what's going on. Somebody could be either financially desperate or money or attention desperate. That could be your thought about somebody. I don't know what's going on with you. You may need some type of help in those areas. Like, it doesn't only have to be relationship and attention, but financial desperation to get something off the ground. Desperation for somebody's documentation. Desperation for somebody's documentation. Queen of Disc energy, documentation. Somebody need your documentation. Sag needs somebody's documentation. You don't understand why they still need somebody's documentation. Or Libra is inquiring about the Sag. Why can't he or she loan me this amount of money? That's the air sign element's voice to you or the Sag directly. Or you to the Sag directly. Interesting. Or the Leo. Like if it's the Temperance is giving me a fire sign energy, period. It's a fire element. So if it's not only Sag just showing up there like Leo and Aries, and they got Queen of Disc energy documentation, or they're just asking for it, or someone just likes them, like someone likes the Queen of Disc, and they want them involved in a business. Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords could be like you could have heard that conversation. Someone could have asked your opinion about a Queen of Disc. Someone could have asked your opinion about a Sag. Someone could have asked somebody's opinion about. I also get having them on board. It's about having Queen of Disc energy on board in a job, in a workplace, in a family business. Someone inquired about having them on board. You did, or the fire sign energy did, or the fire sign energy, they inquired about Queen of Disc energy documentation are yours. In a job or in a family business, whatever the situation is. Okay? Five of Swords. Five of Swords with that energy is Five of Swords. If that's you, if that's energy that is coming off and you're on the outside looking into that communication happening, Five of Swords is that you're maybe thinking that you're not good enough, or you think that you may be thinking that you're better than someone and you're not better than someone, or someone thinks that they're better than you. Someone may be thinking that they're better than you and they are or not better than you in something that they're doing work-wise. Right? So the Five of Swords, the fire sign energies may have commented work ethic. Fire signs could have commented on Queen of Disc energy work ethic, or your work ethic, or your relationship ethic. I don't know what your relationship, what do you call it? How you are in a relationship. They were commenting on. They may think someone may be better in a relationship. They may think someone may be better. I also get teaching. They may think someone would be better at teaching something specific, working somewhere specific, or taking over some type of role. So that Five of Swords, that could have been a Sag thought, a Leo's thought, Aries thought. They could have expressed that. They could have subconsciously compared you to a Queen of Disc. They did it in like it's subconscious. The swords are your mental mind. It's a subconscious thought. So what's happening tangibly here, like what's happening on the biospheric level here is literal communication about this person is happening on the biospheric level. And then there's your mental thought processes are subconscious about what you heard, what you know, what's taken from, what was taken from, or what somebody wants to take, or you want take them in, or something being taken or being used that belongs to the Queen of Disc. But the fire sign energy wants them involved in a workplace or a business. Right? Okay. Your spiritual self has the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is right next to the Libra, or next to Justice. If it's not only Libra, you could have been arguing with a Libra or fighting with a Libra at one point. Or Five of Wands with the fire sign, there's Justice with the fire sign. The Spirit is giving me an idea of wants to leave. They could have once, the fire signs could have once left you before, or they're with you and they want to leave again. It just depends on what's going on. They could have tried to make something work with an Aries, Leo, Sag. They want to leave. Could be work related or love related that they want to leave, or is work or love related that they're with you. If there's arguments and there's justice. Justice is like somebody leaving you, somebody trying to leave you. You leaving someone, it implies that you go to court. So it could be like divorce. So if you may have once divorced a Sag for something, you could have left the Aries, Leo for something temporarily or permanently. That's why the Justice is there. Or the Queen of Disc, it needs to do. Queen of Disc needs to do that with the fire sign. Queen of Disc may need to do that with a Sag or a Leo or an Aries element. Or the fire sign energy wants the Queen of Disc energy. That's why you're doing something. So the fire sign wants the Queen of Disc, like they want them, like in love or work, they want the Queen of Disc. And you could have heard something really interesting there. And that's why the Five of Wands is there with the Justice card. Something could have been embarrassing to you, or something is financial. Like you may have a financial tie with a Sag and a Leo and an Aries. So you have some type of tie. So it's like children, it's a children tie, and it's a business tie you have with the fire signs. You have that tie. So you may not want to lose your place with a Leo. You don't want to lose your place with a Sag, or you once lost your place with someone before and they're coming back in. So either that's their situation with you directly, or that's their situation with the Queen of Disc energy directly. Someone doesn't want to lose their place with them because they have their documentation, or they have your documentation, they use your documentation or theirs. Or they just like someone. They might like Queen of Disc energy more or less than you. Just depends on the energy that's coming through. But the Five of Wands is in your spiritual self, which implies that you may be thinking that you may end up in an argument with the fire sign energies. You think that you are. It's not anywhere else. Like this is your spiritual self. Like your spiritual self, you may be arguing or battling with an internal spiritual view that you have about a Queen of Disc. Like some type of view, like how they're viewed or their views on life. You may have an internal, if the Five of Wands in your spiritual self is like an introspective battle, like an internal battle that you have with yourself. You have an internal battle. It's internal, spirit internal. It's not external, it's internal. Okay? So before I move any further, you got fire sign energies that you need benefits from. They want to give, they don't want to give. They got Queen of Disc energy that they like, they want to be with, they want to work with, right? I get would rather. They would rather be with this person. They would rather be with them. If you're embodying Queen of Disc, maybe they would rather do something for you rather than the air sign that is there. Rather than the air sign. Or they just have the air sign element involved with a Queen of Disc. Air sign may be involved, or the air sign may like a Queen of Disc, or the air sign may have copies or access to the Queen of Disc. And I get resources. The air signs have access to the Queen of Disc energy resources. Like their resources. So resources could be things that they offer. Resources could be financial things that they offer, or they just have, or it's documentation, or it's a skill, and they've created their own basket of resources that the air sign element may, I also get envy. The air sign element may envy in regards to this person, or you're envying in regards to this person, in regards to that person. Fire sign energy want them involved. You feel like you're going to lose your place with the fire sign. If it's not only that, then you may not want to lose your place documentation wise with the fire sign. Like, for some reason, you feel like if the Queen of Disc energy involved, you think that they're not going to need, that the fire sign is just going to need your information or something that you have anymore, or they won't appreciate your resources. That could be a thought that you have if the Queen of Disc energy is still somewhere or they're involved with someone. Like, you may be thinking that because the Queen of Disc energy is involved with the fire sign, you may be thinking that something about them being involved with a Sag, a Aries, or a Leo may deplete their resources or deplete your resources, if that makes any sense. Okay? That could be what the air sign element said. Five of Swords, or that could be what the air sign element knows. Depleting your resources, depleting somebody else's financial resources, some type of resource. The Knight of Swords energy is here. Knight of Swords will be an air sign male. So Knight of Swords, they're in their 20s, they're in their 30s, possibly. The Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is an air sign that's a man. So there's a Gemini in the future. There's an Aquarian. There could be a Gemini. What would I say? Could be Libra male, Libra female, Aquarian male, female. Whatever. There's air sign elements there. You got Gemini in the future, whether that's a man or a woman. Eight of Swords with the Knight of Swords is that the Eight of Swords with this energy is that they work with. This energy works with you, or you've asked them to do some type, investigative. You may have asked them to do some type of investigative work. It could be online, investigate someone, online stalk someone. So they're doing that for you. They could be doing that for you, or you're doing that for this person. Could be doing that for this person, right? So the reason for it, one reason for it is so that you can keep an eye on the fire sign energy. That's why the Five of Wands is there. You don't want, keeping an eye on the fire sign is, you want, I also get this idea of meeting up with someone. Like, keeping an eye on the Aries, Leo, Sag, is that you want to know if the Queen of Disc energy partner. You want to know, the Queen of Disc energy could be your partner. If they're not only family, you want to know if they're meeting up with a fire sign. You want to know if they're meeting up with a Sag, Aries, or a Leo. That's your partner, their friend, family, whatever. You want to know if they're going to see them or they're going to meet up with them. Right? Or the reason for the stalking is that you could be hooking up the fire sign to look to see who they are. You're hooking up a fire sign to figure out who the Knight of Swords energy is. Who the Knight of Swords energy is that's tied to the Queen of Disc. Or you're tied to the Knight of Swords. And the fire sign, you're tied to the Knight of Swords. And the fire sign energy is hooking up the Queen of Disc energy to figure that out. Or the Queen of Disc energy is tied to this person. And the Sag wants to know who they are. Or the Leo wants to know who they are. The Aries wants to know who they are. Who is this person that is looking at, who's this person that she's talking to? Who is this dude that she is talking to? Who's this guy? If they're not family, you don't know them. You're asking the fire sign, who is he? Why is he on her page? Why is he commenting on her things? Or somebody has that thought about you. Fire sign may want to know who this person, this energy could be a suitor to you. And the fire sign energy may be jealous or envious. But they can't be in regards to you or in regards to the Queen of Disc. They can't be, if the Knight of Swords is tied to you or the Queen of Disc, they can't be jealous or envious, because they could have, the fire sign energies could have once shut themselves off from you. Aries, Leo, Sag shut themselves off from you at one point. So they can't be mad if a Knight of Swords energy is a rescue. A Knight of Swords is coming in like a rescuer to a Queen of Disc or to you. So it's a Gemini man, an Aquarian man, or a Libra that's a man. You also have Libra energy, could be female here, their own businesses, and like the air signs, some of the air sign elements, they may have their own business, or they're very successful. Or the spirit's also giving the idea that the air sign is like a prominent figure in society. Whatever that means to you. They're a prominent figure in society. Like, you could be a prominent figure in society, or the Queen of becoming that. Queen of Dis is becoming a prominent figure in the society. That's why the Temperance is right next to them. And that's why the Temperance is following. That's why the Temperance is following this person in the street. The Temperance is following them online. Temperance, Sag is following them online. Aries, Leo. Or that's why they still follow them. I also get this idea of second guessing. Like, someone may have been second guessing themselves with dealing with someone, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know if you were second guessing yourself dealing with a Queen of Disc. You were second guessing the Queen of Disc energy involvement with a Sag. You may have been second guessing Queen of Disc involvement with an Aries and a Leo. Like, or the Aries and the Leo they were second guessing this skill. They were second guessing Queen of Dis energy skill, or they slept on the Queen of Dis energy skill. They were sleeping on their skill. You could have been sleeping on their skill. But because somebody was sleeping on somebody's skills, that karmically what's happening is that they ain't trumping over. They're like trumping over people, or they're trampling over naysayers that they once dealt with. They're trampling over people. Like, metaphorically, they're trampling over people that may not have believed in them. So I don't know if that's something that you're experiencing yourself with a Sag. Like, you could be triumph. I meant to say triumph. You could be triumphing over the Sag, the Aries, the Leo. They may not have believed in you. You may have triumphed over them. You may have triumphed. I don't know if you were trying to triumph over this person, or this person is triumphing over. Like, someone's gone with somebody triumphing over. So the people that didn't believe in someone before, whoever they didn't believe in, that person is triumphing, and now they're crawling back in like roaches that smell food, like rats that smell food. Wow. I mean, that happens. Like, you sleep on my skill, I'm gonna come back and bite you. I'm gonna mirror your ass. Basically, that's somebody's thought. I'm gonna mirror you because you slept on my skills, or you slept on me. So that's why the 5 of Wands is in your spiritual self with the Justice. That's the thought you had about yourself with the damn fire sign. You try to sleep on me, or it could be the element of an affair. Like, the fire sign could have I don't know if they had an affair with someone else on you. Like, Aries could have cheated, Sag could have cheated, Leo could have cheated. They cheated at one point, or they're cheating. It just depends on what's going on. But because somebody cheated, whether it's like financially cheated or love cheated, you are now triumphing over, and they're coming back in. They're crawling like rats that smell food. You know what I mean? Or that's happening to the Queen of Dis. Somebody becoming, I get noticed by celebrities. Like, if they're not a celebrity, I mean, they could be their own celebrity, but not a mainstream celebrity. There's different types of celebrities. They could be their own celebrity to some extent, but they also may be, if they're not a celebrity, like a mainstream celebrity, then they're getting celebrity attention. You may get celebrity attention. And someone that was sleeping on you, either in an affair, financially, or love, that person's crawling back in like a damn rat for cheese. Get the fuck out. Sorry to curse, but I mean, I feel the reading. Like, I feel the energy of this. I could feel your 5 of Wands, basically. I feel your 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is mental. Because it's like 8 of Swords, 5 of Wands, it's like an emotional and mental attack that you got going on here. Because of somebody else's attention that they're receiving, because of their attention that their attention they're receiving from your partner, whatever it is, or their attention they're receiving, period, or attention you're receiving, period. Somebody's looking crazy. You're looking crazy. Fire sign energy looking crazy. Running back in, trying to get back in. Somebody was like, you're not doing it for me. You're not helping me. You're not doing shit. Why am I with you? Why am I with you? You're not doing anything. Where's my money going? That could have been the fire sign energy voice. Why am I with this person? That could have been thoughts that they had with about the Queen of Discs. Or she don't got this, she don't got that, she don't know whatever. Or criticizing somebody back and left and front and center. So they did that to you, or the fire sign did that to that person, and now all of a sudden they're crawling back in like rat for cheese. Because they notice somebody that they're starting to get attention from is maybe making you envious, and maybe making the fire sign energy envious because they weren't paying attention to somebody. They weren't paying attention to you. They weren't paying attention to you. So now they're envious. Eight of Swords with this energy. I don't know if this energy was envious of someone and they're acting strange. I don't know. That could have been a situation as well too. They could have been acting strange. The Knight of Swords, the air sign man, could have been acting strange at one point. They could have been acting strange. Eight of Swords with them. Or they're just someone that you were asked to follow. There was someone that you were asked to stalk. Or they stalk someone, or they stalk you. Or they watch someone, or they're trying to get somebody's attention. And it's bothering you, or it's bothering the fire sign. But it can't bother the fire sign because the fire, I almost said father. Something could be going on here with your father, or someone's father, or a father figure. Or a father figure. Something's going on with someone there, okay? Someone may become a father. If you're a man, you may become a father, or you are a father. And something's going on with who you're tied to, or it's like someone external from you may become a father, or they are a father, if that makes any sense. Something like that, okay? What's changing is the Hierophant, sign of Taurus. So it could be a Taurus that's becoming a parent. There's a man on this card, but it could also be a woman. Taurus, man, woman. They're changing, right? For whatever reason, it's changing. This element could be a Taurus as well. Like I said, it's a earth sign female period, but it's a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn that's here. So if it's a Taurus, that's whether you're a man or a woman. But I get deceptive. Like they may have been deceptive to you, or they could have been deceptive to a Libra, or they could have been deceptive to a fire sign. They were deceptive to you or someone. Like this being deceptive to you at some point has something to do. I also get favoritism. It has something to do with their favoritism, or them favoriting someone else external. So if it's a Taurus that's a male, they could have been favoring a Queen of Discs over you. It just depends on what's going on. They could have expressed that to the Sag or a Leo or an Aries. Whatever it is, right? They could have been deceptive to who else? Could they have been deceptive to a Libra? They could have been deceptive to a Knight of Swords. I feel like they could have been deceptive to you. They could have been deceptive to those elements too. Five of Swords is right below them, so I feel like they, I also get picky and choosy. Like they're picky. They may have been picky and choosy with you, or a need that you have. They were picky and choosy about, or an opportunity that you were presenting them with. They may not have taken, or they don't want. That's why they're in a changing position with the Five of Swords below them. They were picky and choosy with an opportunity you were trying to present them with. But I keep getting this idea, rather be with someone else. Like, whoever you are with, they'd rather be with someone else. They'd rather be with Queen of Discs. They'd rather be with Sag. They'd rather be with Libra. Like, they could have expressed that. They expressed that. It could be the Knight of Swords they'd rather be with. Or you'd rather be with. It could be the Knight of Swords they'd rather be with. If you'd rather be with a Knight of Swords, as I'm talking about, I get something about what a Leo wants, or what a fire sign energy wants. Whatever fire sign, Sag, Aries, whatever. It's what the fire sign energy wants. So you either rather be with a Taurus male Or you'd rather be with a Knight of Swords that's an air sign male. Okay, let's see what's going on here. This could be a situation here if you're like a woman and you work in a business for some reason, like you and your boss is a man, and you may like your boss, someone that's coming off like a boss here as well too. You may like your higher up, or your higher up may be interested in joining in a female that you may be envious or jealous of that female, if that makes any sense, right? You could have those, I mean, it's okay. You may have those feelings towards someone in the workplace that your higher up wants to hire, for example, wants to work with, for example. Right? But you could be responsible for the hiring process. And you may be interviewing men, and you may prefer the men because you don't, if you're a woman, you're thinking you don't have anything to compete with. If you have men around, more men around. If you're a dude, you may prefer the men, right? A Leo or whatever fire sign may want to add another woman to a situation. There may be enough men somewhere. There may be more than enough men somewhere. Why the hell does a whole business have to have 80% men or 95% men and 70% women or 60% women in some workplace? That's not even. Can't have divine duality with more men than women in some type of workplace or business. Wherever this is happening. You know what I mean? So you're like, I prefer the dude. You're telling the fire sign, I prefer him over her, or vice versa. Just depends on what's going on. But it has to do with skill and sleeping on somebody's skill. Here's the thing about sleeping on somebody's skills. Like, if you sleep on somebody's skills, or the fire sign sleep on somebody's skills, what's going to happen is you're going to end up working with someone that's very limited. You're going to end up working with someone that isn't very refined. And it could end up faltering. Something may falter. So you go with your first instinct, or the fire sign should go with their first instinct, or whatever is their first instinct here. The Eight of Swords with the Knight of Swords, because it's like this person may be getting turned down for something. The Knight of Swords may get turned down for something, or it's your responsibility to turn them down for something, or turn them away for something. But it's what the fire sign energy wants. So the accomplishment is the Queen of Disc, or communicating with the Queen of Disc. Fire sign energy communicating with the Queen of Disc. For friendship, for love, for work, for business, whatever it is. Okay? Oh, here's your Leo sun going towards the Lovers. It's your partnership with a Leo, Sag, Aries. Knight of Swords, air sign male. Eight of Swords, air sign man. The Knight of Swords, the air sign male, may already work or be somewhere with you. They may already be somewhere with you, but it's like I get this idea of turning something in. Like turning something in could be a paper. Turning something in could be a what would you say? I don't know. Oh, turning in sounds like police. Like turning someone in kind of sounds like somebody getting like handcuffed. Turning something in could be, having somebody go and get like somebody. It sounds like somebody could get arrested. Turning somebody in, turning them in, or turning something in like work, like a paper, something. Turning some type of documentation in. Or turning something over, overturning something, revoking something. I don't know. That's why the Eight of Swords is with them. They could have been an option in a business, but the fire sign, like a Leo, may, I don't know. I get responsible for hiring. The Leo may be responsible for hiring them, or her, or you, or just working with you, right? Right? I mean, you're successful at the end of the day. Like, you are successful in what you do, but then with the Lovers, you're going towards a Gemini man. Could be a Gemini male or female. You got Knight of Swords. Could be whatever air sign that's a man. You got Gemini, Libra, Leo, Queen of Discs, Sag, Aries, possibly. I don't see any water sign here. Like, water sign isn't heavy here for some reason. Water sign isn't heavy here, but it does feel like a Leo has a decision to make. It could be you could be on the outside looking in. It's a decision that a Leo is making. Oh, let's see what's going on here. So, if it's a Leo with the Eight of Swords and them, I give up. A Leo may be giving up on a Knight of Swords. They may be giving up on an air sign man. They could be giving up on them, or at least, like, I get an objective. Like, somebody's giving up on a Knight of Swords energy objective. Like, your objective that you develop with them, vice versa, communication with them directly, with the success and the resolution, or as lovers, like as Gemini, partnership with the Knight of Swords. It's like you may have given, I don't know if you've given up on a Gemini, or that's who someone is going towards. Like, that's who a Leo is going towards, or that's who you're going towards. That could be who you're going towards. But it also has something to do with what a Knight of Swords was asked to do in regards to you or someone else. In regards to fire sign, in regards to Queen of Disc, Libra, in regards to a Libra possibly. They could be a Libra male, Gemini man, female, Aquarian male, female maybe. Knight of Swords. With the lovers, right? I don't know if you're leaving. Like I said, you could have left a fire sign for the air sign, or you're contemplating doing that. Or the fire sign wants a Queen of Disc, and I get looking at someone else. The Queen of Disc is just looking at someone else, and they may be looking at a Knight of Swords. Whether they're a man or a woman. Like, they're looking at the air sign male. Or the air sign male is looking at either you or the Queen of Disc. For whatever it is that's happening here, there's success here. But opposition. There's success, but there's opposition. And then something's going on with the document, like somebody needing somebody's documentation. That's why they're still with someone. Or that's why they're asking someone for something. So that's you on the Sag. That's you and the Leo and the Aries. That's a Libra. That's a Libra's tie that you have. Or it's a Libra's tie they have with the Sag or the Aries or the Leo. Then something's going on with an air sign man that deals with a Queen of Disc. And the fire sign, stop that. The fire sign energy may want to stop that. Whatever is going on there. They want that to stop. Because, like I said, it goes back to the fact somebody wasn't paying attention to the Queen of Discs. Someone it has to do with attention. Like, it has to do with paying attention to you or paying attention to her. Or paying attention. A lot of it has to do with attention. A Libra may not have been getting attention from somebody. Libra wasn't getting attention, or the air sign man wasn't getting attention. I don't know if a Gemini energy wasn't getting any attention. Leo wants attention. Everybody wants attention, but it's like everybody wants attention now because one person in particular isn't paying attention to them. I think because of treatment. It has to do because of treatment. Your treatment that you experience. Treatment she experienced. Triumphing over. You triumphing over, somebody triumphing over. This element triumphing over. Could be the Knight of Swords triumphing over. Somebody's mad because somebody looking at somebody else that they weren't even paying attention to. They were sleeping on. And now all of a sudden they want to rip their shirt off for somebody. Whatever it is, okay? Alright, let me do an outcome here, Pisces. I mean, that's what happens that might have been the plight that a lot of celebrities go through. I mean, I'm not saying, I feel guided to say that because something is celebrity-like that is happening with someone, but, you know, in general, like, that may be a plight that even celebrities go through, where people aren't giving a fuck about somebody, and all of a sudden, they want to rip their clothes off for somebody. Or whatever it is. Transmutation. All right, transmutation implies change. You know, something is changing here. It could be something mystical, like you may be thinking that something is mystical that is happening. I don't know, or it's just transmutation, like something is changing, like somebody's or people's thought process is changing. You may be changing your ways. 8 of Swords, Knight of Swords. You could be changing your ways. Somebody could be changing how they are. Or what's happening here is because someone is changing. And typically when people change and evolve, they become more wise. They develop wisdom. And because somebody's developing wisdom is why whatever is happening here is happening. Okay? Alright, so that's you. You're developing wisdom. You're evolving. Queen of Discs, developing wisdom. They're evolving. Air sign men, fire sign men and women, needs, documentation, paying attention to someone, not complying with someone, complying or not complying, leaving, affairs, leaving you leaving someone. But it has to do with like spiritually evolving. That's why you feel conflicted in your spiritual self. Because you may not, okay, I'm just going to give this as an example. Someone may leave you because it's like, I also get a drain. And somebody could be leaving you because they may deem you to be draining them. Or you're leaving someone because you deem them to be draining you. Or that's happening external. With Queen of Discs and Knight of Swords and Fire Sign and Queen of Discs, somebody's going towards someone because they evolve. Like, I mean, when people evolve spiritually and intellectually, they become attractive. I mean, that's plain as day. But you may not get that. Like, you may not see that. You may not know why. They're acting erratically. A Leo may be acting erratically. But that's why I said mystical. So when people evolve spiritually, they develop an electromagnetic, spiritually attractive energy. And that may be what's happening with the Leo and the Queen of Discs. That's what's happening with a Sag and Queen of Discs. When you become more confident, you attract. When she became more confident, she's attracting, manifesting people and experiences, transmutation. All right, Knight of Swords, or letting go of what was toxic, like not paying attention to someone, not giving someone attention, is also a sign of developing wisdom and spiritual growth, right? Developing wisdom and spiritual growth, meaning some people drop off you like flies. Some people are going to come into your life like flies, for good or for bad. All right, it just depends on what's going on. Okay, all right, Pisces. Let me know how it resonates. Be well. Take care. Bye.